where residents are calling for President Cyril Ramaphosa to come and address them. They say they're fed up with the high crime levels. They've taken to the streets for a second day now. That's where we find Newsroom Africa's Nqobile Madlala, who is standing by to give us a sense of what it is that we are seeing and hearing at this hour. Nqobile, what are residents telling you? Good afternoon.
Well, residents at this point say that they want to see solutions. You can see behind me, a fire has been burnt. It's been less than 20 minutes that this street was just clear 20 minutes ago, and now it went up in flames. We saw the police coming in and shooting at the residents, and they continue. We are being told that this is not going to end here because they want solutions for their problems. You all know that this area, it's not the first time that they've had this problem. But of course, I'm going to bring in one of the people that are at this point just as fed up. But perhaps explain to us, as a person that works on the ground, that speaks to the people on a daily basis, what does the community at this point want? If you can just outline that for us.
This time around, the community, they are pleading with the state president to come down to Diepsloot. You'll remember that we are the community that had 2 shutdowns that brought 2 ministers in the community. Minister Cele was here twice. Aaron Motsoaledi was here, trying to solve the problems that we are facing as the community. And there was a point in whereby the community felt like it seems like these 2 ministers, they don't have a solution to our problems. With due respect, I remember that Minister Bekitele took it in a wrong way when we were saying we don't want to engage him anymore. We want the state president because we believe that that's where they all account. Because when you engage the Minister of Police, he will tell you that the problems of Diepsloot, they are off the service delivery. When you talk to Motsoaledi will tell you the different story. So I'm limited in terms of my ministry. So the right person who can answer to all these things, we think that is the president. And, you know, for the president to come to Diepsloot, there's no need for all these things. He's the president that we have elected. He must just come to Diepsloot and listen to us, whether how can we together solve the problems that we are facing as the community.
What are these problems?
The problems are crime related. Our people are dying. You know, we were at some stage, you know, feeling it as a norm that our people are dying every week. But this time around, it's not on weekends only. They die on a daily basis. Just to give you the brief, you know, of the happenings that happened 2 weeks ago. A lady, there was a break-in his house. He was hit by a hammer at the head, and the child was shot at the stomach. And last week, Tuesday, the former chairperson of the CPF was shot. He went to hospital, fought for his battles, fought for his life. Unfortunately, on Sunday, we lost him. It can't be correct. We've got families to raise here. We've got kids. That must be, because Diepsloot to some of us, it's a home. We've got nowhere to run. So what we are pleading is for the president to please come to us and engage us so that together we can find a solution to the problems that we are facing.
And I imagine you say this is a home for you, so you would have the solutions at mind. How can they be, what sort of solutions can the president perhaps put in place for you to have a better and a safer home?
For example, currently, we've got the TRT from different provinces. I can quote your KZN, your Limpopo. I've seen some other cars here for weeks. That's right in Thohoyandou. You can just check how far Thohoyandou is. And we have seen TRT from the Free State. But these people, there are places that they cannot walk to. In informal settlement, they will tell you that we cannot go to such places. Themselves, they are afraid of such places. They will drive in tie roads and main roads. And the state, my sister, have a responsibility of protecting its own citizens. We don't have money to hire private securities. We don't have money to have these high walls where ministers and the president are staying. All what we are requesting from the president to say, their police must go to places where criminals are. Where are those places? Informal settlement. We want to see them working there. We want to see them, you know, disturbing criminals in such areas.
Why are you certain that these criminals are in informal settlement?
We pick up, you know, bodies lying there every weekend. the very same CPF former chairperson, he was killed in Extension 12. That is an informal settlement where the mother was hit by a hammer and the child was shot at. It's an informal settlement. We can go to the police station now. Majority of the crimes that are committed, where our people are killed, these things are happening in informal settlements. And when we engage the station, they will even tell you to say, our cars cannot be driven in such places. So the question is, if they cannot go to such places, are we simply saying people must die in those places? It can't be correct. Something must be done. Because when we vote, you'll see them coming to such places, conversing. But today, because our people are dying, they can't be able to go there.
And when we talk about police visibility, we've seen the police visible right now as we speak. They're behind us. And I want to walk with you. And I can see the police being visible. Is this a normal sight that as a person who lives in Diepsloot, do you see normally so many police on the road?
No. Today they came, in numbers. We are surprised. If these numbers can be here maybe once a week, I think we can have, a solution on the crime that we are facing. But the TRT that is deployed here, as I've said, they only drive their beautiful cars on the main roads where there is a tie road. We want to see them walking. And the only person I think who can help us in that regard is the state president.
And of course, the state president, like you say, is the person that you guys are asking for. But what does this mean for someone who is coming back home from work, someone who's probably coming back from school today? What does it mean? Does it mean that Diepsloot is closed?
It's very difficult. We are living like people in Ukraine while we are still in Diepsloot. It seems like we are in a war zone. Myself, once it's 7 o'clock in the evening, I make sure that I must be home. Otherwise, it will be difficult to enter the place where I must put my head. So imagine about those who are working in restaurants. Imagine about those who are coming from work late. They don't have any option. They are using taxis. They are not lucky like you and I who can drive around. But themselves, they are in taxis. And they've got nothing to do. They must come late at home because they knock off late. And now they've got no option. So it's very difficult. And I'm still repeating, we cannot live like this. It's an abnormal situation.
So what happens now? It's the second day. What happens now?
The community, we had the public meeting yesterday. They took a decision that maybe, because we have been making the call for the president to come to Diepsloot. This is not for the first time to come out in media and beg the president, please, Mr. President, come to Diepsloot. He doesn't come. And the community decided to say, these people, they've got the language that they understand better. We have seen them responding when other communities going to rampage like this. And this is not what we want, but we've got no option. The only way for them to listen to us, people must do this. And I've said to you, this is unnecessary. Let the president just listen to the call of saying, Mr. President, we are begging you. We are your people. We are from Ukraine and Russia. You have tried you're the best. Please come to Diepsloot. Diepsloot people, they are living like people in Ukraine. We are dying day in and day out. It's enough.
And as a father, you must be scared for your own children.
Very scared. Very scared. I've got, my kids there. I'm happy time and again when I'm coming back home, they will come running to me to say, Papa this, Papa that. And there are families who are not lucky, to that extent. We can state like an example. What will happen to the kids of this man who was killed last week? This man was a husband. He was a father to his kids. Now, the same thing can happen to me because remember, they were just killing ordinary people. Now they've killed a leader of the CPF. What does that say to you? No one will be safe in the hands of these criminals. Even us tomorrow, we can be killed. Standing here, talking to you guys, with big titles, the community leaders and all that. But ultimately, when it comes to crime, these criminals, they know no title. They kill as they wish.
And I see that you are also burning things like stalls, and I want us to see. One would imagine that these are small businesses that are in the area that probably have quite a lot of people that are making ends meet from there. Why then is the community deciding now to burn such things like stalls?
These people, they will be here. portraying themselves as business people, but at night they tend to be criminals. We don't want to be sound xenophobic, but majority of people who are selling here, they're not genuine, business people. We are not against small businesses. We want to promote that. But how do you feel if someone will be selling things that will make 20 rand a day? But when you look at the lifestyle, these people, they're living large. You look at the same individual, he's wearing a 50,000 rand jacket, your Fabian and all that. You look at the lifestyle, the kind of business that they're operating, and what they wear, and the lifestyle that they live. You can see that these people, they are just portraying themselves as genuine business people, but they are not. Then the community felt like, no, let's destroy this thing, because when you can go, you can make your own researches. When you go, shop by shop, and when it comes to these stalls, you'll find that we don't have our people here. It's people from, hence I've said, I don't want to be seen sounding xenophobic, but we are facing that situation.
So what is the solution? Do we need the ministers then to come back and see what's happening here? Besides just the president to be here, what does he bring? Who does he bring?
No, honestly, when it comes to the ministers, they don't have a solution. You'll remember that TRT was deployed here. The special detectives were deployed. Home Affairs deployed their own people. But we still sit here with the same situation. Our people are dying. And I think, whoever that will be listening to us speaking here, they can understand this thing. We are not criminals. And we don't want to be seen as criminals, as people from Diepsloot. We want to live like, other communities. We want to live, in harmony with our families as like other families, But we are denied that opportunity because now we must be seen running up and down the streets of Diepsloot, burning tires, burning all this, as if we are criminals. We are not criminals, but we are begging for the protection from the state. Let the state protect its own people. That's all what we are begging.
So this continues then?
We will continue, my sister, with a heavy heart, because we are appealing to the president to say, we know, Mr. President, you are busy. Please find time in your busy schedule just to come and talk to people of Diepsloot. Even if the president can come and lie at our face, that will be better, because we have tried all the avenues. We wrote letters, we've met with the station commander, the cluster commanders, we spoke with Minister of the Police, the Minister of Home Affairs, but we are still sitting with the problem. Our people are dying.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. You can see they're saying that they will continue with a heavy heart. This road, of course, is completely closed, just like so many roads that you see here. Stalls have been burnt. They feel at this point that they are not heard, but they want the president to come and speak to them. And they feel that ministers have not done right. You will remember that Minister Begicele was one of the people that were here. Minister Aaron Motsoaledi was one of the people that were here. And there were promises that were made before that. And at this point, they feel that they have not been heard. And so until they continue with what they're doing, only then is the language that the ministry can hear from them.